Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Star Wars Mafex number 266 Darth Vader, which is the version from Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is another character in the universe, so I don't understand how this Darth Vader is from that character, but whatever. No, it's from the show, which I most definitely watched and am very familiar with. And I'm, like, quietly on the hunt for a good Darth Vader figure for my collection, because I don't really care about Star Wars that much, but Darth Vader is Darth Vader, and I thought it would be nice to have one, but I haven't found one yet. I have, like, the most recent SH Figuarts one. I never even took it out of the box because I'm not real thrilled with how it looks. I thought this might be the replacement for that. I don't know. There's some really cool stuff going on here, but then there's some other things that I don't really care for, and I guess we'll see how I feel about it by the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a fine package. It's pretty standard Mafex packaging. It's a little plain, but still looks nice. The back looks pretty good, although they don't really have him doing a lot. He doesn't pose all that much. It is Darth Vader after all, so that's okay. But yeah, standard packaging, not bad. Very displayable if you wanted to do that sort of thing. I do not. I am not a displayer of packages. And this guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. Last I checked. I don't know if he still is. I'll put a link down there. They pop in and out sometimes anyway, so if you want to get one, at least give it a look and maybe you'll have some luck. Alright, he stands to the top of his helmet, about 6 7/8 inches tall. His head is in there somewhere. I guess we could pop the other head on to give you an actual height measurement, but I'll put him up against another thing in a second. It's about 17.6, 17.7 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin. So he has some size to him, which I think is probably good enough for 1/12 scale, slightly big for true 1/12 scale, slightly small for whatever the modern 1/12 scale is, which is just a ridiculous statement. But yeah, he's got some size to him. Obviously, his helmet is a helmet, so that makes his melon pretty big. I don't know, this figure looks weird to me. We're going to look at it more as we go, but let's do a question of the day. Oh, that came off. That wouldn't have really helped us too much because his head's not in there. Question of the day: are you still into Star Wars? And were you ever? Have you lost your luster for? That's not a saying. Has Star Wars lost its luster for you, or where are you at? When I was a kid, I really liked it with the first three, the original 3 movies. Then I liked it less after the other ones, but I still liked Darth Maul, so that was kind of cool. And then it's just nothing to me now. They have totally ruined it completely. Okay, so let's talk about this Darth Vader, which, it's a Mafex figure. Sometimes they do great work, sometimes they do terrible work. I think this is somewhere in between. To me, what really ruins it the most... Let me do this. Can this just pop right off for a second? Let's do that. What really ruins this the most for me is the proportioning. The head being big makes sense because he has a giant helmet on. But the thing is, it sits way too high and his shoulders sit low. We have big shoulder pads here and a big helmet, and the head is still really far away from the shoulders, and it makes him look really weird. Your chin doesn't go up higher as you put on a helmet. Your chin would still be down, so he should have very little room between this chunky thing here and his helmet. It should be big on the top of his head, but his chin still should be down, so it makes him look really weird. And then we also have probably 2 long legs, but it's hard to say. It looks like his body's been stretched a little bit. He's pretty weird looking. There are some nice details. By the way, he does come with the damaged helmet and damaged chest piece. I swapped him out for standard Darth Vader just because that's what I wanted. I'll show you the other things later. But the details are alright. Like, the paintwork is clean where it needs to be clean. Of course, that's fine. Except for on his helmet, for me, this side has, like, glue residue. Maybe we can take that off and make it a little easier to see. It's not just the silver paint. There's glue residue in there around the eyes. That's super annoying. Coincidentally, it is actually painted lighter on that side, it seems, which is strange. Maybe that's a thing from the show that I'm not remembering, since I definitely watched a bunch of the show. But it even looks like that in a lot of the promo shots too, where it's lighter, but there's glue residue too, which is irritating. A cool feature about this thing, which I'm never going to be able to show you on camera, is that you can see eyes behind the lenses. That's really nice. It's hard to see, but they do look really nice. The finish on the figure overall is mostly like a semi-gloss, I would say. Then there's some matter versions, like matter areas, like the gloves, and obviously the boots are shiny, things like that. We have cloth for this. This is unwired. It is going all the way through, so that part's fine. The helmet's super glossy, of course. And then we have this cape, which has the actual chain on there, which is nice. And this is wired, but this cape is full-on Batman style. It's humongous. And again, maybe I'm just not remembering from the show. I watched a whole bunch. Was his cape humongous in the show? I doubt it, because it is gigantic. I'll pop it back on for you for just a minute so you can see how absurdly large this cape is, which it definitely wasn't this big in the original 3 movies. It's like Spawn levels of cape again. So it's great for those of you who want to take like a photograph where he's got like the windswept cape doing something crazy. But for everybody else who just wants a figure on their shelf, you have to wad up the cape behind the figure, which you can do, of course. But there's a whole lot of material back there that's just a nuisance. So I'm kind of over the big capes. But with the cape on, you can hide the weird sized head, even as long as you don't look at the arms too much. If you make it look like the arms are actually too low compared to the really high head, it does look strange. But you can hide a lot of that with the cape. It still looks decent. It looks pretty good. Like it's a nice looking Darth Vader despite some of the issues. Yeah, it's fine so far. So I'll give it an aesthetic rating of 7 out of 10. It looks fine. There's some issues, but it looks okay. Now, as far as accessories go, like I said, we do have the battle damaged head and chest piece. That's very cool. The battle damage helmet top does come off if you wanted to, but it's done pretty well. It's done nicely. If you get too close, you can see the dots in the paint, but otherwise it's nice. You get a decent spread of hands, nothing crazy, but enough. And then you have a whole bunch of lightsaber blade effect pieces. That's pretty cool. You get some interchangeable. You get some different lightsaber hilts, including a couple of guns that shoot the lightsaber blasts out forwards, and then you get the little protractor for him to do his calculations. So yeah, plenty of options there. I think it's a good spread of accessories. You get the Mafex display stand also. I don't think there's probably much more you would need really for a Darth Vader, so that seems nice to me. Maybe removable limbs. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 for accessories. That's pretty good. Now, as far as articulation goes, the cape is wired, and it is very wired, so you shouldn't really have too much trouble with that. It does work nicely. There are wires throughout there, and then across the bottom, of course. It works nicely for a cape that isn't connected to the body. It is just sitting on top, so it's not going to be crazy useful, but it is there. So we'll set that aside, and we'll talk about the rest of the articulation now. The head is on a ball peg, and that's it, but that's fine. I mean, he's wearing a giant helmet. You're not going to get much more out of that. This piece here is split at the shoulders, but yeah, it's not great. His arms will work, but not great. Again, bringing them forward, you can't even do it because the split, like, couldn't they have split it farther over? What? Also, the joint is fighting me. Yeah, it doesn't pose for crap. Like, I know that it's Darth Vader and it doesn't really need to, but if you wanted to put him in some crazy dynamic poses, you're going to have a hard time. Bicep swivel is in there. Mine is stuck. There we go. It's moving now. Double jointed elbow. It's actually not a bad joint. It's not the best looking joint we've ever seen, but it's fine. And then the wrists are on little ball hinges. That's fine. For the torso, he leans back. It's mostly happening down here. Maybe exclusively. I think it is exclusively. Yeah, it's exclusively posing down at the bottom, so he can't lean forward at all. To the side, he does lean a little bit, and of course you get some rotation there. For the hips, his giant cod piece is semi-flexible, but not super flexible. He can do splits, but he definitely has a nugget, so be aware of that. The legs are pretty loose too. Bringing them forward, it works. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Going back, you get a little bit back. Thigh swivel is in there, that's okay. Double jointed knees, not the best range. Lower legs are too long, as usual. And then for the ankle, they go pretty far back and not very far forward. Ankle rocker is crap because of that right there, that little point. And then the toe hinge is one of the worst ones. It's not good. So yeah, his articulation blows. I'm going to go 4 out of 10, and that's super generous, but because it's Vader, it's like, it's fine, I guess, because he's not supposed to pose, so they didn't really try hard, I guess. But you could easily argue lower, and I'd be fine with that, because he poses for crap. Alright, so, time for the final verdict on this release. Is this the best Darth Vader figure ever? I don't know, maybe in some ways. Maybe his cape is the best, even though it's too big. Maybe the helmets are nice because you can see the eyes behind him. He does have a lot of lightsaber accessories, so that's cool. No, I mean, I haven't reviewed all of them, so I can't say, but it's not standing out to me as like, oh, this is a must-have figure. It is a decent Darth Vader figure with plenty of flaws, but enough to like about it, so yeah, I mean, it's going to be taller than the Figure Arts one also, so if you want a bigger one, that's a thing. I don't even think Figure Arts did Kenobi. Did they? I'll check. Hang on. Alright, so I don't know if they did an Obi-Wan Kenobi version. This is the most recent one I've seen them release, and I think this might even be a reissue or a modified version of the one that came out a while ago. I don't know, I haven't looked into it that much. But I'll see if they did a version of this guy, and I'll post a thing on the video. I'll edit it in. But just based on this, I'm thinking maybe this looks even better. I didn't like the way this looked at first, but compared to this, I think I might like it more. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys are Darth Vader collectors, let me know which is your favorite import Darth Vader figure to collect and why, because maybe I need to broaden my horizons a little bit. Anyway, this figure's fine. 7 out of 10 overall. It's okay. There's plenty of issues with it, plenty of cool things. Let me know what you guys think, but I'll just leave it there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.